Hi, my name is Ravko, but you can call me Z. I'm the founder of Zero to Skill, and welcome to today's training. Today we're talking about procrastination, or to be more specific, how to trick yourself into overcoming procrastination. My belief is that procrastination is one of the biggest problems people have today in terms of being productive, efficient, and so on, because we tend to postpone and procrastinate on things that we really need to do until the very last moment. Now, there are a number of reasons why we procrastinate, and there's usually just one or two that we tend to mix and match together. But today I want to talk about one specific one, which is the most common one, which is the problem for me, which is the problem for a lot of people that I interacted with. And I wanted to share with you my way of how I solved it, how I've gotten myself to take action and stop doing things that are not supporting my goals. Now, what we tend to do whenever we procrastinate is that when we have something that we need to finish, any activity for that matter, we tend to look at it as this big thing, and when we have the time or when we have enough time, then we're gonna do it. We don't wanna start it right away if we cannot finish it, and so on, and other excuses, rationalizations we use in order to postpone doing it. So in these moments, I've kind of programmed myself to do sort of like a mind shift that allows me to take action right away until I develop the momentum which lets me complete the task at hand. So I'm going to use two examples in this video. One is a bit more closer to me, something that I tend to procrastinate on the most, and how I've solved it, and how you can apply that for other examples, other activities, tasks, and so on. So my thing is writing and publishing articles. In this specific example, I'm gonna say just one article. Now, for me, it usually takes between 2 to 20 hours to finish one article because I put in a lot of work and I wanna make sure that it's good. Now, the problem with that is that there's a lot of things that need to be done in order to write and publish an article. And when I think about it, I'm like, I need to do all of those things, and it's gonna take me like 3-4 hours, 5 or more, and then have to do this for days and so on. So I'm like, when I have enough time, like in a row, in a sequence, then I'm gonna do it. The problem is that that time is always tomorrow or the day after, and so on and so on. So I never take action, and I tend to procrastinate. I believe the biggest time span that I procrastinated on the longest was, I believe, 109 days is between two articles, the span of time between two articles. So in those moments, I decided to break down writing articles. So it's not I have to write an article, but I have to do something specific. Instead of having this one big activity, I broke it down and deconstructed it into smaller ones. So writing and publishing an article became coming up with an idea, topic for the article, writing the headline, and then researching for quotes, other pieces, just to give me an inspiration to see what's the gap, research, facts, quotes, and so on, which I mentioned already. And then I do a brain dump, then I organize it into sections, write each one of them separately, and then I edit, proofread this, add SEO, find the cover, format it, and publish it. This is the exact sequence in which I tend to write articles. Now, for a brief moment, you might think, okay, but you just listed like 10 activities. Doesn't this further overwhelm you? It's supposed to, but not if you do this. So instead of writing and publishing an article, instead of having to do all of these things, whenever I catch myself procrastinating, I like to keep it simple. I say, Z, well, I don't call myself Z, I just say, yo man, go. I don't call myself yo man either, but that doesn't matter. I just, in those given moments, when I catch myself procrastinating, think, oh my God, I have to write an article. My goal is just sit down, take your laptop, and write the first thing, which is the topic. Choose it. Find something that you want to write about. Find something that people were interested in, and then see what you know and how you can make it actually useful, entertaining, and action-driven. And that's what I do. All I say, sit down for 2 minutes and write the topic for the article. The good thing is that I already have topics lined up, so I just take a look at them, see which one I like. And now, since the step number 2 is to write the headline, I'm already at the topic and I already have a couple of ideas coming up for the headline, so I continue writing that. And that's already a couple of minutes in. And now since I've written the headline, I'm like, oh, I know a perfect quote for the intro, or I have this cover in my mind, oh, I read this research. So I go doing that right away without even thinking about it. It just kind of feels natural. And before I know it, I've started to develop the momentum for this. 1 hour in, 2 hours in, or 3 hours in, I'm constantly in the flow, and I finish the piece and I publish it. And it usually works like this. It works like 95% of the time for me. Whenever I do this, it never fails. Whenever I think about writing an article and sitting down and doing everything, it always fails. So I'm going to give you another example which a lot of people have a problem with, which is exercising or getting yourself to the gym. I'm going to use that example. It doesn't have to be the gym, but just to give you the mechanics of the process. Now, when people think about the gym, they think about everything that needs to be done. The clothes, going to the gym and then working out and sweating, especially in the beginning when you're trying to establish this as a habit. So instead of thinking of going to the gym, think of it this way. You choose the gear for the gym, you put it in the bag, you dress up, you leave the apartment, you get into means of transportation, either you walk, you have a car, a bus, or something else. You get to the gym. There you don't think about exercising, but you think about just dressing up in the gear. Then you don't think about exercising, but you think about warming up. And then after that, it's exercise. And then after that, it's the stretch, the shower after that, you dress up, you're done. Few smaller activities, not a singular big one. So whenever you know that you need to go, whenever you said that you need to go to the gym, instead of thinking about it and delaying it, I'm gonna do it later when I have 2 hours and so on, just say, okay, right now, I'm just gonna pack the gear and I'm gonna put it right near the entrance of my house. So the first thing I see, it's right there. It's ready. You can even do it the night before. And then I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna dress up, take the gear and slowly head out. You can put the music in, podcasts, audiobooks, and get to the gym. And so on and so on. Before you know it, the exercise is complete. Now, it's the same thing with everything else. So my suggestion is that instead of doing this, overanalyzing and overthinking and making it larger than it really is, whatever your main activity right now is that you tend to procrastinate on the most, take it and ask yourself, what are the things I can do to make it smaller? What are the exact steps? And then those steps become your mini activities. You go from one after another. All you need to convince yourself is just to take the first one. You can even make it a rule that you do just that one. Even if you don't want to continue doing it after that, it's still good. You've still made one step. And then repeat the process for everything else. This way, instead of doing the things that are not supporting your goals, you're engaging in the activity that's important, that's going to deliver results, but you've tricked yourself into thinking that it's a smaller one, and once you finish that, you're going to quit. But usually, majority of people get into the state of flow, that zone, when they start working on it because it looks manageable, which is the key word. So you want to make your task at hand look manageable, break it down, and start with the first thing. That's it for today. Good luck with this. Try it out. Let me know what you think. And if you have any questions, you can always send me an email.